So honestly, I don't even watch that much television. Like this whole summer, well, not even just television, streaming in general. I don't even watch that much. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't watch that many shows or movies, and especially this summer, I literally didn't touch Netflix at all. I only used HBO to watch this one show, Euphoria, and that's what I'm gonna be talking about in this video. And I'm not gonna like blab on for 30 minutes. I'm just gonna talk kind of like about the things I really like about this show and how it does the things that it succeeds in really well. It's pretty much about, if you didn't already know what it's about Zendaya, the main character, who has like a drug addiction with like so many things ever since she was little. She tried them and she just couldn't stop. Like she always loves the feeling because she always felt like something was missing in her life, and she just gets sad all the time, almost like a sort of depression. So she used to think that drugs were the answer because they'd always help her feel better and like get out of that state. Even if it was for a little bit of time, she just loved to use drugs to get like in that like happy face type of feel, even if it's like temporary, it's not even permanent. But that plays a big part in the show, like her drug addiction and how it like actually showcased in the show, and like how it affects certain scenes and how she reacts. She's the main character essentially, and drugs play a big part in her life in the show. And other people like also have their own stories, which is a really big part of the show. But like I'll get back into that after. The scenes they show, like how people react, like how they display the feelings of the drugs in the show, and I don't actually use freaking I don't even know what you call it. She has like painkillers and stuff, and she's just obsessed with using them. I couldn't give an input because I don't actually use like painkillers and shit. But the point is, I feel like they have like actually kind of realistic feel because they actually show like her going to the rehab, her using the drugs over and over again, her getting the dealer and stuff. I feel like that is a crucial part to like have a bit. It's like the base of the show, and it only builds up like other characters and like their own little like towers from there. Like the base of the show is her, and like people around her are like secondary like little like things you add on top of the base. But her character is really well. Like I don't know, something about Rue is just so cool, and the way she's portrayed almost like this like person that has like a permanent sad face on her, and things come in like people and things like come into like new town, like Jules is this person, the new girl in town, walks in to her life and just makes everything so much better. Like she's almost a drug she doesn't have to hurt herself to use, essentially, because like drugs usually have a bad effect. Like one time in the show it even shows her sister had like a panic, like her sister freaked out because she thought she was dead, and they called 911 because she overdosed in the house, and she was just like, that scene was insane, and just like how they show it, like the vomit coming out of her mouth is crazy. But no, Jules is like the person in her life that she's been waiting for, almost someone to keep her off of the stuff that she shouldn't be using, like drugs and things that like make her feel bad, and well, good in her eyes, but like bad around people around her. Like I don't know, I just think how they start with like her on like that really like addiction level, and she's like always in like that sad state, and then how Jules comes into her life and really helps. Rue is just like such a good character to like have the show based around, essentially, and like has like a big issue that it's actually showcasing just like drugs in general and how they affect like our society nowadays. But also, one really big thing I love about the show is the cinematography. Like some of the scenes, look on YouTube. This is like how they shot the hallway scene in the first episode. They literally built the directors that helped her out, and because she's like one of the people that made the show, essentially. They made like a rotating room, and how they had it was she was like almost like falling to the side. Like think of like this is like a square, and it's rotating like as they filmed. Like the camera's just sitting right here, and everything's spinning in a circle slowly, but it's a square, like almost like rotating on each side. And the people that are like around her, like in the hallway, they actually just had like them attached, like their feet were strapped to the floor. It's crazy how they did it. I don't know, like the cinematography is crazy on this show. But honestly, I love the one of my favorite episode of the show, obviously, or by far, has to be the carnival scene, carnival episode. Episode 4 is such a good episode, and how they showcase, like, I don't know, that and Stranger Things 3 have such good things in common. Like the way they like had the cinematography going through the carnival, and like certain like things have like for example, people like inside certain rides, and how they showcase like the Ferris wheel and the carnival and the fun houses. It's just like, I don't know, it has like a good vibe, essentially. Like carnival scenes and filming. It's just like I love the way, and like how like everything, like the drug dealer, his name's Fez, he walks like by down to go get something at like, or give some people some drugs or something, and the camera's panning like side by side, like this is him, and back behind here is the camera, but in between there's like little like objects. For example, like this duck can be like it's like walking, the camera's like shooting by as like the duck is like, let's just say like a bit like one of the carnival games. It's crazy. Like I don't know, I've always found that interesting. Like when the show does cinematography really well, it's awesome to me, and it just like helps like the finished product overall. And I don't know, there's something about the show has this like really good way of like shooting scenes, and I just love the way it looks and how it came out is amazing. Just like even the final episode, like the last 10 minutes is amazing as well. Like how it's like just I'm not gonna spoil it, but it has like a really good like I don't know like musical type vibe to it, even though she's not even singing. But another thing I want to talk about that makes it's like a really good point to like a really good strong point focal point in the show is they start each episode off essentially besides the first one, it's not that much focus on every like the last 7 episodes after the first one, 8 episodes total. Like almost start talking about a backstory of a character before they were this age in high school, but when they were really young, and not even just like some of the young kids. Like it's a whole mixed group of people. Like they start with like one of the episodes talks about Jules and how she was like put into like a mental facility, and that's one of like the best episodes for like the first 10 minutes of it, and before it starts with the actual like opening sequence. They talk about they had shown Nate and how like his problems with his father, how they started off like really young and how he like built up to be this like almost like he's literally a human antagonist. It's insane how they do it, and I think he's one of the best characters in the show, just for like how villainous he almost seems, because he's like he almost has like an overbearing effect, and like people have to like look up to see him essentially because he is a brute. It's insane how tall the actor that plays him is, and Nate is just like such a like a character where like you see him and his shadow like overcast on the person that he's talking to. It's crazy because he's like literally like a human shield when you think about it, because anyone could stand behind him and they'd probably be safe, because how like he's such like a giant person overall, and like a legit human villain, and he just has this like terrifying feel because of like his overall appearance. But then they talk about his backstory. They talk about the friends, some of the McKay people, not just the actual guy named McKay, but his girlfriend that had down the line, the McKay, like their last name's McKay. I forget all of their names, but overall, I like how they start almost like talking about why this character, or they showcase why this character acts the way they are. They talk about like their problems they've had before when they were like children, like things they wanted to do in life but they didn't end up just because of like someone else's problems got affected onto them. And I like character backstory. I don't like when one character is the main point and like nothing else really matters. Like everyone around them is just like, I don't know, like plastic people, like legit like Barbie dolls that just sit there and just smile and don't do anything. I like emotions showed truly throughout all the characters, almost like it's like a tree with the story plot and all these branches of the characters. That's how I look at it, and it's just insane to like show the show like displays all the characters and like how they connect in some way and how they're all like related by like the end of the episode of the whole season. It's crazy. So like just overall the characters are one of the best parts. I would say that like, the three things that like to me hold this show so well up is the base character, the drug problem, the cinematography, and the actual character like development and storyline. So overall, I want to talk about this show because it just like I don't know, when I first saw posters of it and like what's it called, like commercials for it and trailers, I was like, that looks alright, and it was kind of like I kept seeing it when I was watching Game of Thrones earlier this year back in like April and May. I literally would skip I'd skip some. I watched the first time the full commercial for You for it, and I was like, this looks alright. I almost wasn't interested in it because it was just a commercial, but looking more and more info come like keep it popping up like ads for it and recommendations and trailers like how they made the show. That was what kept bringing me back to it, and I wanted like almost like caught my attention and caught my eye. I wanted to see what is this show about and like how is it overall after watching all the episodes in the whole season. It is really good. Like if you like can stand like really graphic content and like things that seem very mature and like I don't know, gore. Sometimes it's gory, not like that crazy, but like it's pretty crazy like stuff. They talk about heavy topics and like I'd say it's on the level of 13 Reasons Why, which is like kind of like mature show. They show a lot of things on that and stuff, but like this is like on that level for like the crazy like detail and how like they showed like scenes of like really violent and stuff and like things for realism to portray it, but at the same time they don't cross the line. They have a lot of like funny scenes using like nudity, maturity, and just like things that like topics that like kids like under the age of 10 shouldn't be watching, but like it's almost funny how they portray certain things in the show. So yeah, it's really like mature topic, like drugs overall, like drug addiction, and like how high schools are nowadays and how they revolve around not only drugs but like sex and just people and like things like accidents that happen, people revolving their lives around things in college and like the future, and how just everyone's got their own path they have to follow, but at some point this whole path of like high school, everyone's branches, like I said with the tree, like they all go their own way, and that's where it's like this yellow brick road type moment where it's like goes everywhere, like everyone is so different but at the same time they all connect, if that makes sense. Like they all have their own way of like coming together at the final last 3 episodes. So it's really crazy overall show, and that's why I was saying when I watched it, I was like the first episode, like oh my god, this is actually like crazy stuff they talk about and almost mature on the level, like I said, of. But the show is Sex Education, which I reviewed. If you haven't seen the video, I posted that back in January. Check that out. I'll pop a link in the description. That review talks about more like on the level of like a show where like you just look at it in perspective, like, oh, this might not be that good, but I'll check it out, and then it's like blows your mind in the end. That's like another one of those feelings of this show. It's just that vibe you get from it, like after watching something, almost like not like a weight off your shoulder, but like it's almost like, dang, after watching it, it's like almost like you want the more season, and it's already got renewed for a second season, which was really good. It's like it's almost like it keeps you wanting more and more to find out what's gonna happen next season with the main characters and all that stuff. It's almost a cliffhanger type moment, but it's not like, I don't know, like, oh, will this person live or die? You don't even know. It's all about like what will happen to them, like in the future, where this person goes, where this person ends up, what happens to these two people together. It's all moments like that where I think these shows rely on heavily, and they do it really well when it comes to like not just really dumb cliffhangers, but like interesting stuff. All in all, I'm gonna almost end it on this. I'd give the show out of 8 out of 10, which may not sound like a lot. I don't know, because you consider like the 80. It's like, that's still like a B. 8.5 is a weird. I don't like using half, but I'd say it's 8.5, closer to a 9. It's a really good show. The topics it discuss are really like deep, like I don't know, graphic stuff, if that makes sense. But it's really good, like that they actually discuss this stuff and bring it into like like people's eyes through media and like television in general. I love the way like, everything just comes together, like the character development, the cinematography through everything. Like I said, on like the level of like other, it almost reminds me, and this may sound really stupid to some people, if Quentin Tarantino directed a show and revolved it around teenagers and drugs and the things that they kind of go through in high school, like sex and all that stuff, like things that fuel high school, if that makes sense. And I know I can't really have an input on this because I'm only a sophomore in like 3 weeks, but the point is, from what I've seen, I can kind of say this is more realistic type show level stuff than other shows have in the past. Cause sometimes they don't even try to be realistic, but this one, I think, does everything really well, and that's what I love about it. Just like how everything comes together to make a really solid show, and I'm really happy that it's already becoming renewed for a second season. So it's gonna be really good. Because even Drake, Champagne Poppy, literally posted on his story. He's like really excited, or he posted like a picture saying he's so excited for the last episode tonight, and a couple weeks ago or days ago, and then he has his, literally right now, if you go on his Instagram, his video is being posted right now. His profile picture is literally the cover for Euphoria. It's like Zendaya with like the glitter and then the teardrop. Like I said, 8.5. I'd say 9 out of 10. It's a really solid show, and it's just like the topics it discuss. I've been telling everyone that watches television or has HBO, if you have HBO, and I'd say if you're over the age of 12 or 13, watch this show. It's really good, and it's just like the topics it discuss. And I don't usually talk much about shows. Like, even though I like The Office, I don't talk about it every day, like on YouTube. I don't even really discuss it that much. But this show deserves more of the spotlight. And right now, it's even a really big thing. Like, everyone's watching it. It's like the next big thing, if that makes sense. Right now, it's in the spotlight. But I think it needs more attention for what it actually is, and not just like, oh, look at the trailer. Oh, it looks kind of dumb. Because when you watch it, it's a completely different thing. Watching a show and just going off of a trailer for an opinion. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you did enjoy this, hit the like button, hit that big red rectangle that says subscribe, and then you'll be subscribed to my channel. You'll know whenever I upload a video. But to guarantee you'll know whenever I upload a new video instantly, like right when it happens, press that little bell, like click it, almost flick the bell, because then you'll get alert on whatever you watch my videos on that device that I uploaded a new video, because I'll probably be making a couple more new videos by summertime ends, before it ends in the next 3 weeks, essentially. I have a lot more ideas coming. This was just one of the things where I want to like talk about it, essentially. But no, just be on the lookout for more things. Like I said, I know this has been a couple of days since I posted my last video. I'm sort of just like in this state where I want to post when I want to post. It's not like, oh, let's put 5 videos back to back on one day because I just want people to see something, because that's like overkill, essentially. I just like going with my own flow, if that makes sense. And that's what I've been doing essentially ever since the last video. I just almost, if I'm in the mood, like I think I really want to make a video on this topic or this thing that's coming out, with this what's new right now, essentially, I will do it. But it's almost like following my own path, like that, if that makes sense. Like just doing what I want to do when I want to do it, because I don't usually revolve my life around YouTube. But that's gonna be for you guys. I already said that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.